Okay. Today, as you can hear, let's just turn this down. We're going to be talking about playing on dominant 7 chords. So here we have B flat dominant 7. Okay, so we got this B flat dominant 7 chord here. What can we play? First, the B flat dominant 7 arpeggio. So 1, 3, 5, flat 7. Okay, you're going to play that up here, and you're going to play that over here. And let's get this across the whole bass. So let's play that. And let's play it across our E string like that. That's quite a nice way to play it. Okay. You can then also start to do some chromatic stuff within this. So check it out. Between the flat 7 and the octave, so that's a cool chromatic that kind of works. You just don't want to end on that natural 7 on a strong beat. So you got to use that wisely. Okay. Another chromatic note you can use, or a sound you can use, is that flat 3. It's a classic sound. So you take your B flat dominant 7, and then you've got your third at the top. You go from the flat 3 to the 3. And you can do that down the octave as well. So now we've added another kind of chromatic note here. You got your between the flat 7 and the octave, and then you got your major third to flat 3. Okay. So start getting used to that kind of sound and this kind of sound. Hello, Adonia. So we're talking about playing on B flat dominant 7 here. We got our arpeggio. Okay. And we've said you can add in a chromatic. First one is that natural 7 between the 7th and the octave. Next, you got your flat 3. That gives you that kind of bluesy sound. Okay. Okay, another thing I like to play, you can play your whole B flat Mixolydian scale. And that's going to always sound good. Another nice sound for B flat dominant 7, G minor pentatonic. Okay, and if you can play G minor pentatonic, you can play G minor blues. And that sounds cool. So that's kind of like you're really using that flat 5, which is your minor third of the B flat. Okay? So that's really nice as well. Next thing I would say is try to stop always starting your lines and bass lines on the root note. So once you kind of have all these options, you can then try start bass lines on other notes in the chord. So if we took, instead of always playing the root, let's start our bass line on the third, like this. Thank you very much. If anyone has any questions, please put it in the chat. That's why we are here. But at the moment, I'm just talking about playing on B flat dominant 7. So again, now we're working on playing bass lines with all these new notes we've discovered. So instead of always just starting on the root, we've decided to start on the third, and that was a bass line. That's a bass line starting on the third. Let's do a bass line starting on the flat 7. 1, 3, 5, flat 7. Okay, so here we go. That's an example of a bass line where we're starting on the flat 7 of our chord. So you don't always have to start on the root. That's what I'm trying to say. So now, let's look at some other scales we can use on B flat dominant 7. I've been playing a very long time, too long. I've been playing bass for like 25 years maybe. That's a long time. So B flat dominant 7. Now we're going to play A flat major 7. So we're going to play a major 7 chord, a tone down from the root here. Okay, that's what's happening. So check it out. Here's B flat dominant 7. You're playing A flat major 7. It's a very cool sound. So it sounds like this is the chord, and you're making this sound on top of it. By Adonia. So now, even though it's a B flat dominant 7, I'm thinking of A flat major 7. And all of those notes kind of sound really cool on top of B flat dominant 7. Another option is F minor 7. So you're getting this sound. How cool does that sound? I love it. again, B flat dominant 7. I'm playing F Dorian now. And all my kind of minor Dorian vocabulary, I'm now able to use that on B flat dominant 7. So I love that because I'm taking something I already know and I'm using it somewhere else in a different context, and it gives me a different sound. Something else really cool here is using fifths and fourths. So let's say I've got my B flat dominant 7 and I take my F Dorian. Inside of that, look at all these fifths and fourths. And then fourths. Okay, so now I can play these kind of fills. So now I'm using diatonic fourths and fifths to play fills. So that's an example of playing fifths and fourths as fills. Okay, so there's so much stuff you can do on B flat dominant 7 that's not just B flat mixolydian or B flat dominant 7 arpeggio. So what did we do there? We did B flat dominant 7, we did some chromatic stuff, we did A flat major 7 arpeggio and A flat Lydian, we did F minor and F Dorian on top of that B flat dominant 7. There's a lot of stuff you can do. So, any other questions about this? Now, I'm going to get into a bit more of the chromatic stuff. So yeah, just let me know if you have any questions. We're talking about playing on a dominant 7 chord, but let's talk about some of the chromatic kind of playing we can do here. So look, we got our F Dorian again. Or here. Now inside of this, we said we had all these fourths and fifths, okay? But we also can add chromatics between all of these whole tones. So look. I'm going to add chromatics, look. And you see, so and if you take the chromatics we looked at before, this one and this and this, and you added these to that, you can play almost every single note on that dominant 7 chord as long as you resolve in the right place and you hit chord tones on strong beats. That's the difficult part about using chromatics, you know. So yeah, any questions about bass playing or our pedals, let me know. But just to do a quick recap, we've been talking about playing on a dominant 7 chord and all the different ways you can look at it, play chromatics, and find other scales to play on it besides just mixolydian. So I think this stuff is really, really cool because it makes you play in a different way. It makes you play different lines, different fills. So yeah, let me know if there's any questions about any of this stuff. Otherwise, I'll carry on, because let's look at playing pentatonics on this now. Okay, so let's talk about pentatonics then. Because we can play F minus 7 on this B flat dominant 7, means we can play F minor pentatonic. So you should get all your F minor pentatonic shapes down. Okay. Now once you have those shapes down, I like to add one note to my pentatonic scales, and in this case that note is the 9th. Like that. So now we're going to play these pentatonic shapes, but you're going to add that note. Okay? And if you did that with your major pentatonic, A flat major pentatonic, it's going to look like that. So now you're going to practice on your B flat dominant 7 to play your F minor pentatonic, and your A flat major pentatonic, but you're going to add this note G into both of those scales. And if we took that back to playing a B flat dominant 7 type bass line, so now you can see I'm starting to use those concepts to play on top of a B flat dominant 7, instead of just in the beginning playing only these notes, or thinking of always B flat mixolydian. Okay, so any questions about any of this, just let me know in the chat, please. Now, let's talk about diminished on dominant chords. So here we have B flat dominant 7 again. That's what we've been talking about the whole time. If you look inside your dominant chord, you have this diminished naturally there, D diminished. So off of the third of any dominant chord is a diminished chord. And because diminished is symmetrical, check it out. You can kind of do this. You can use diminished on dominant chords. So again, if we played the whole scale now that goes with that, then we can play that on top of our dominant 7 chord, which is pretty cool. If you took your diminished shape like this, now you can move that around in minor thirds, which is awesome. So Again, play your diminished scale off the third. And all of that becomes available to you now. And as long as you resolve, it kind of sounds cool, you know? So, as you can see, there's hundreds of things you can do on a dominant chord besides just playing this. Okay, so any questions about bass or about playing on dominant chords, just put it in the chat. That's why I'm here. I'm trying to help people get better at bass. Basically. You know what I mean? So let me know if you have any questions about our pedals or about bass playing. But yeah, that's a lot of stuff about dominant 7 chords for you to practice. I will upload this video once I finish this live stream so you can go back and watch what we spoke about. But we spoke about a lot of different chords and scales and concepts you can use on a dominant 7 chord. So, any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, it's been beautiful hanging out briefly and speaking about that. I hope that was helpful. Any questions that you think about after this, you can message me on Instagram Celebrity Pedals, because we're all about the handmade analog guitar and bass pedals. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Bigger Mike Bass. Any questions, Bigger Mike? Okay, so yeah, maybe I'll just jam for a few more minutes. All good. And then if you don't have any questions, bass questions, I'm going to just try use everything I spoke about to play. I'm going to just improvise using everything. So firstly, Mixolydian. That minor third. What about chromatic stuff? That's pretty cool. A flat Lydian. I love that sound. F Dorian. What else did I say? I can't remember. Oh, hello to Idiodextrous. Let's talk about idiodextrous stuff. Idiodextrous means playing upside down. So if you didn't know that, now you know. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god. So I think that's it for today. But it's been beautiful hanging out with everyone. I hope that was helpful. I'm going to post this again onto the channel so you can watch it if you missed the beginning. But any questions, message me on instagram.com/celebritypedals or leave a comment on this once it's up. But yeah, any final questions about bass playing that I can help you with, please let me know. Simple 1/4 chord changes sound more interesting. The music I play doesn't really lend itself to fills or runs. Some simple ideas. That's a great question. I think for simple 1/4 chord changes, pentatonics is maybe your best friend, you know. But yeah, just using them in more interesting ways and starting them in different positions. Like if you're playing on B flat, going to E flat, then instead of thinking of B flat major scale the whole time, think of E flat Lydian or E flat major pentatonic with the 7th added to it. Okay? So I prefer that sound. Yeah, on a 1/4 chord progression, I'd rather hear E flat Lydian or E flat major pentatonic with a 7th than always B flat major pentatonic. So yeah, get this scale going. You just take an E flat major pentatonic and you add in the 7th. See? Or you can play C minor pentatonic with the added 9. And you get more of this kind of sound than this. Which is a cool sound. But I don't know, I just think I just think that's kind of a more colorful, sweeter sound. You see? If that makes sense, I hope so. Beautiful, yeah. Practice those and try use them on top of that chord progression, you know. So play like B flat, to E flat, but then that's it's a nice sweet sound, you know. That's like E flat pentatonic with a major 7. Yeah. Give that a go. Works every time. That's a Gregory guarantee, you know. You get your money back. If it doesn't work, Gregory guarantee you'll get your money back. So, yeah. How do you hone your instinct for tasteful fills? Is it useful to learn some actual fills from recordings, or I think you should do both of them? You know what I mean? Do both. So, learn fills from recordings. I've definitely done that. Classic fills, you know, things like that. These kind of classic sounding fills from all our favorite bass players, you know. But then try and move them around a bit and make them into your own sound, and try use them on different chord types. That's the next step, I would say. So if you learned a G minor pentatonic kind of fill, use it on B flat major 7. You know what I'm saying? Or use it on D minor 7. So yeah, just taking these classic fills. If I'm playing C minor 7, I might take a fill that I learned on a G minor 7 chord and try use it. So you see, that's such a cool sound. Oh, and I wouldn't have, normally we just go, I learned this fill on a G minor chord, so when I see G minor, I'm going to use it. But no, try use it on other chords, or try alter it to fit other chords. That's like, you know, it's beautiful stuff. You get more out of what you learned, and that's when you're living the... Okay, any other bass questions that I can take and make for the sake of the bake? Let me know if there's any other bass questions, because, you know, that's why I'm here, just answering sweet, sweet questions about bass or pedals. Let me whack on the octave pedal. questions about bass, I'm going to upload this to the channel so you can watch the whole thing. We spoke a lot about playing on beautiful dominant 7 chords for a long time. Lots of concepts, lots of things to practice on dominant 7 chords besides from just the classics, El Clasico. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Any questions about bass? If not, all good. It's been nice hanging out for 35 minutes. So, okay. Beautiful. I will be back some other time if there's no further questions, Your Honor. Okay, well, very nice to chat to those of you, and thank you to those of you who asked a question. That was very legendary. I hope it was helpful. I had a good time. I had a good practice. For me, it's good as well. I'm learning. I'm still learning big time. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye.